Hello everybody, this is Beau Turkey, and this is your Spouse Aggro vidcast. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about one of my new favorite little games to play, a browser-based game called Fusion Fall. Fusion Fall is a free to a point, I should say. You can play to level 4 and then you have to subscribe to continue on with content, but it's made by Cartoon Network, makers of some of your favorite cartoons, needless to say. And today I want to talk to you kind of about 3 different things. This is my character. I made him in the character creation, which I'll show you in a minute. And he's fantastic looking. He's got a purple mohawk. He's got some wicked jeans on, a jacket, and this really cute backpack that I got during a mission, which is kind of a standard mission, so everybody has a chance to get that. I made this character really in no time at all, and it doesn't take much to make a very interesting and unique character in the character creation, again, which you'll see in a minute. This gun that I have here, if you notice, it looks like a giant kind of a plug-in, a socket, and I'll let you see how the game not only fires and works, but how the rifle works here. What I'm doing is it kind of works like Tabula Rasa in a way. If you remember Tabula Rasa and played it before it had a chance to shut down. It's first-person shootery, but it's got what I like to call a soft lock-on kind of system. So as you can see, my reticule there kind of locks on to the character, and kind of helps with you know, staying in deathly touch with your target, your victim. Here's some other players running around. The game is always busy, and it's not always filled with just kids. I mean, there's a lot of people from all over age ranges and different, you know, genres of gaming that have played this game. It's a really attractive game to almost anybody. You can see why. I mean, it looks fantastic. It's right now I have it running in full screen, but it is a browser-based game. In other words, you can run it directly into a browser pop-up, and it runs remarkably well. This treehouse here is the treehouse from, I believe, the Kids Next Door. Let's jump over there and see. I love the jumping and everything. I'm also going to show you some of the platforming aspects of the game. Here is number 2 that a lot of you might remember from Kids Next Door. The anime version, a lot of the characters from the Cartoon Network shows, is a little bit unusual. I'm not a real big fan of it. They've kind of animated a lot of them up. Here's what's her name, number 5, I think it is, the real smart alecky kind of girl from Kids Next Door. And as you can see, she's a little anime looking. I mean, it's cool and everything, but overall I appreciate it. But the characters and your flexibility on the character creation really makes up for any of the, the graphics that you're not really enjoying. But I mean, look at it. For a little browser-based game, a free browser-based, or mostly free browser-based game, it's fantastic. I mean, this is turned, I believe, all the way up, and it runs really well. I'm running Fraps right now at the highest settings and everything, so as you can see, it works pretty well. You can see all the players. But let's show you a little bit of the aspect of the, I'm going to show you a little bit of the platforming aspect. Okay, so this is kind of, this is one of the platform type of levels. You can talk to a gentleman like this little dude here, this agent, SACT agent, which I'm not sure what that stands for, and you can run through these platforms. It's funny, Fusion Fall is a combination of platformer, shooter, MMO and everything, and it's really unique in the way that it gives you these opportunities to do these kind of Mario Brothers, 3D Mario Brothers type of platforming levels. But I absolutely love it. It's simply a blast. I mean, you can see the other kids playing it and stuff like that. And there's missions involved with the platforms. You've got to go through them and find quest givers, stuff like that. But let me see if I can get to some of the more interesting aspects of the platform. Oops. Jump is done nicely to where if you jump, you can be in the middle of a jump and then kind of move your character. So as you can see, if you can see down below me here, you'll see my shadow. See if you can see that. It's like a little round dot. And so if you're having issues on difficult platforms, you can go to the edge or something, you can jump and follow your shadow to make sure that you land in the right area. So once you get the hang of it, it's really a lot of fun, but it's also really easy to overcome challenges that you might have in the platform. So as you can see, I'm running through the different level and stuff like that. And then I'm going to go into this warp level, which is basically an instance. So let's warp there. Whoop! There's the evil green monsters on the right there. And I'm not sure what instance I'm in. Let's see. But again, look, it looks fantastic. And I'm going to pull out one of my nanos. Nanos are little, hard to explain, little character versions, robotic versions, whatever, of different Cartoon Network characters, and they give you different buffs essentially. Like this little fat dude here gives me a running buff. This is the Eddie, one of the Eddies from Ed, Edd and Eddy, I believe, and he'll heal you if you watch. I'll push his little button here. Oops. Push right click and he gives me a heal if I need it. This guy gives me the speed buff, and Buttercup here, I'll let you see what she does. If you watch her, she'll knock this guy out for me. So I'm going to start shooting him. I'm going to right click on her, see what she's doing with a little hand cuff there, and knocks the guy out. Okay, so this will be the character customization. As you can see here, I have 2 slots. You can come up with a name, and I believe you can create your own name, but they have to approve that eventually. But I kind of like to just randomly make a name. There's Cliff Freeze Thatcher, Shepherd Beta Hatcher, which I like. Let's just hit random. Do they have a random? They do. So let's hit random and just see some of the different character creations you can come up with. I mean, look at the face, emotes, the expressions on the face, the color choices, skin color choices, which is fantastic. That's a cool looking one. I like that shirt. You can do hair. You can do all these different, hairstyles. And this is all within, your browser if you want it to. And Fusion Fall is one of those games that just look at this one. I think that's from the Elvis dude, Elvis cartoon. But Fusion Fall is just one of those games that just comes from nowhere. I mean, you hear about it, and all of a sudden it's there, and it works fantastically. So let's just keep hitting random and see. Oh, look at this guy. You know who this looks like right here. If for you older watchers, people who are watching the video right now, if you know who, I think his name is Jim Jarmusch. I believe he's a director, and he's done some really kind of wacky films. This kind of looks like him. If that's the right name I'm thinking of, Jim somebody. So that's pretty cool. So you can change the pants, you can change the clothes, just the shoes. You can do all sorts of stuff and just kind of customize your character. And that's just from the very beginning. And later in the game, of course, you get the wild backpacks, and you get some, some different fun stuff like that. A fantastic little game, FusionFall.com. I would definitely check it out. As far as some of the accessibility is concerned, I think that you can also control the game using your arrow keys like this. And you can also control your gun and stuff, which I would show you in a minute here. But you can, you control shooting and everything with just your buttons from your key.
Press the
space bar is jump, so you can control the entire game from your keyboard as well as from a mouse. Now, there's no click to move, from what I understand. So that might have some issues for some accessibility, people who need different kinds of accessibility. And all the green, schemes and everything in the game, all the green colors and everything from the targeting. You see the soft targeting is kind of whitish, but all the characters are green. Also, when you get into a radiation area, my screen might start glowing green. Let's see here what happens. Well, anyway, generally there it goes. The screen will pulse green, and for any of you colorblind players out there, you might not be seeing that. And that is a warning sign of danger, of being attacked, or of being, in an area like a polluted area that is hurting you. So for a colorblind player, there's some choices in the game that are really rough, that are not going to be very helpful to a colorblind player. And for a deaf player, although there are subtitles in most of the quests, there's, a lot of the warnings are these sounds your characters are making, like, oh, getting hurt while you're in a radioactive area, and you need to literally be able to hear that. So, hopefully, if you are deaf and you need those warning signs, you'll be able to see the green pulsing. But of course, if you're colorblind as well, you're not going to see that. So there's some issues with that. Most of the game, though, seems pretty accessible. For one-handed players, it might be difficult to move and shoot and everything, but like I said, the soft lock makes it really, like, for example, here, I'll see if I can shoot this guy with just using my keyboard and my mouse, and I'm going to try to run, which I can't. So that's kind of difficult. We're destroying this guy, and in order to get done, then I'd have to switch back to keyboard. So there are some control issues for one-handed players as well. So FusionFall.com, go check it out. I think it's one of the most fantastic games I've run across, in a long time. It's just fun. It's just a fun MMO, and it's surprisingly robust. It's surprisingly deep. The quests are kind of kill 10 rats type quests, but there's so much customization and just plain fun to be had in the game, with vehicles and getting carried around the landscape and such, and the story and all that, that it's really worth checking out. So I would definitely go look at it. It's FusionFall.com. I'm Beau Turkey. This is Spouse Aggro, and go log in.